What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, interesting. The Truth, former unified WBA, WBC, IBF, welterweight, world champion, superstar boxer, now middleweight, making his ring return after a 3-year layoff. Errol the Truth Spence Jr., who has 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, will face off against Australian star in the States. He's a superstar in Australia, the son of a legend, Tszyu, that being Tszyu. They're going to fight next Saturday, I believe. Right? The 26th, 25th. I'm confused because of the time difference, the time frame, right? It's going to be in Australia. So because it's going to be in Australia, there's a major time difference. So the 31-year-old Tszyu is from Australia, obviously. Errol Spence said he was interested to go to Australia just because of what it meant. And he wants to dominate the 27-win, 3-loss, no draw, 18-win by way of knockout Tszyu in front of his people, right? He want to humiliate him in front of his people. Now the fight initially was going to be at 154, then it got scheduled for 158, and now Tszyu is saying that Errol Spence is asking for it to be at 160. Errol Spence confirmed it and said, hey, it might as well have been at the full 160-pound limit, was 2 pounds up, right? I agree. Errol Spence stated, this is his natural weight. He feels strong, he feels fast, he feels energetic, and mentally he just feels better. Now it's going to be at 160, right? 158, 160, that's what he said. He said, spent too much time sucking himself down to 147. I agree. But Errol Spence says that, Tszyu is looking to retire him. It's a 3-year layoff, right? Since we've seen Errol Spence in the ring. And he said, Tszyu is looking to retire me for good. Tszyu, they did a face-off with Sean Porter, and Errol Spence said, Tszyu said that, Errol Spence said, what do you expect from me in this fight? And Tszyu said he don't know what to expect. And Errol Spence took a bit of offense to it. Initially, he took offense to it, right? And then he changed it. He was like, you know what? I can't be mad at him. He don't know what to expect. So Tszyu said, bro, I ain't see you fighting 3 years. I don't know what to expect. And Errol Spence said, you know what? Tszyu said, I thought you was retired. He said, you know what? I was semi-retired. He agreed. I was retired. It took me, time, right? I kept going back and forth with myself. I go to the gym and then I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to come back. Then a week later, I'm like, nah, not ready to come back. So he said he played seesaw with himself as far as that goes, and till he, stayed consistent enough to where he was like, all right, I'm ready to come back. So he said, but Tszyu is looking to retire me for good. Now, Errol Spence said he don't believe that's going to happen, but he said that that's Tszyu's plan. So Tszyu said, yeah, that's my plan. The question is, first of all, I like Errol Spence going to 160. I think it's a clearer path for him to be a champion. And I think that it also gives him time to reacclimate to the sport of boxing before, because his mindset is to fight the wolves. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to fight the wolves in sheep clothing. He don't want to fight the sheep. He want to fight all the wolves, all the dogs, right? And so if he's at 154, it's going to be hard for him. He stopped Tszyu or looked great against Tszyu. It's going to be hard for Errol Spence to turn away them wolves, them dogs. At 160, he can fight the best at 160, become a world champion, and get his legs back under him. Get back in the groove fully. Tim Tszyu fight is going to get him back in the groove, but get another fight in, right? This is July. Maybe he could get another. He stopped Tim Tszyu. Don't take punishment. Maybe he could get another fight in before the year is up, right? Maybe he gets another fight before the year is up at 160, become a world champion, right? You got the Genobics and the guys at 160, right? I think those guys at 160 is tailor-made. It's not a lot of movers and slick fighters at 160. Get the Errol Lara fight, right? I like the Lara fight with Ronnie Shields used to train Errol Lara. Lara's a champion. Lara's with PBC. Get the Lara fight at 160. Get the belt. I love that. I love that idea. Question is, if Errol Spence loses, is he going to retire? I believe so. I believe so. If Errol Spence loses to Tim Tszyu, I don't think we'll ever see Errol Spence box ever again. That would be the nail in the coffin. If he loses to Tim Tszyu, I think he'll come to grips with himself. He's not the same guy. Everything has finally caught up with him. All the punishment, has finally added up, and now he got to pay the price. So if he loses to Tim Tszyu, I don't ever see Errol Spence boxing ever again. He beats Tim Tszyu. There's 2 fights with the PBC that makes a lot of sense. Jermell Charlo and Errol Lara. I love both those fights. Jermell Charlo and Errol Lara. But to answer people's question that asked me, Errol Spence said Tim Tszyu looking to retire me. If he loses to Tim Tszyu, he's going to retire. Tim Tszyu is a 54-pounder moving up in weight, and Tim Tszyu has gotten stopped now multiple times. He ain't the same guy he was before he lost to Fundora the first time, then got stopped by Fundora, then got blasted out by Bakram Mataliev. Bakram Mataliev. He ain't the same guy. So if Errol Spence loses to Tim Tszyu, you'll never see him fight again. That's just my thoughts. But let me know what y'all think, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. I'm gone. Peace.